Alrighty, let's go live.
Woo! Huzzah!
Hey there, folks. We're back again for more hilarity and hijinks for the next hour, next 2 hours. We're not going to be doing the 8-hour stint that we used to do some 3 to 4 years ago, folks. Even back then, our body clocks couldn't take it, compared to, what we could do then and now. But that's a story for another time. Hi to Sean Retro, the master of Retroland? Yeah, that was kind of bad. Gonna get this advertised on the book, because, hey, we're all about promotion and what have you, because promotion is good. All right,
Yep.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to, like I say, post this up via my phone, and it's being weird about it. But, nothing new. Let's see. There we go.
And it appears we've got Preston in the chat too.
Greetings, Preston! Nah! He's like, okay, that was weird. I want to give a shout out to Marky D123 because the guy recently had his YouTube ban overturned. What the specifics were for his ban, that's not for me to say. All I'm going to say is congrats on being re-added, dude, because you're good at what you do. And I'm going to give a link put out as well, because this guy does amazing WWE content as well as TNA. Lids, don't ever let Oni find this, because Oni go, now for this TNA report. Well, I have a few things to say about that, and you're like, oh no.
The hell you don't.
But basically, giving a shout out. There is his link in the forum. So, Prez, Dan, you like your wrestling? Give this guy a look. He is well worth every one of his 46,000 subscribers. Get him up to 50. He deserves it. It's an interesting time. Because obviously some people know my personal situation. An era has ended. I'm not going to go into the specifics of this because certain people don't want certain things reported on publicly. All you need to know is I'm entering a new chapter in my life. And because I'm likely to have a moving situation in the next few months, I'm probably going to pull out all the stops for one last movie review under my current accommodation, so that when I go to the new one, we just resume as before. But because obviously in the new place I'm gonna be finding like new ways to sort of get adjusted and develop new quirks, so it does mean between now and maybe middle or end of June, I'm going to do what I've done with the first Jurassic Park for its 25th, the Back to the Future trilogy, Batman Begins, Power Rangers, The Secret of My Success. I am going to pull out all the stops, and Wynn's gonna hate me for this. I am going to pull out all the stops and try to do a 5-star plus rated review for Jurassic Park 3.
Good luck.
I'm gonna need it. Because I'll just talk the brass tacks here. There were some clever ideas briefly glazed upon. The idea of the illegal cloning, and the idea that the velociraptors had evolved, but it doesn't really do anything else after that. It just kind of... It's like, oh, more dinosaurs, we have to run. And the only one who really got any character development was Alan Grant. Whereas the rest... Well... Everyone knows the Awesome One's thoughts and opinions on Tia Leone. And the Cyber-Raiden, he also has his opinions on her because of her performance in Bad Boys.
Blood.
I think the only
thing bad of that was the only thing bad about that movie. Just her wooden ass acting.
I think the only thing that people liked about the movie she was in with Nicolas Cage is the fact that, well, people were envisioning what she looked like behind the steamy glass shower door. I'll let you use your own imagination for that. Now, to be fair to Tia, she's a beautiful woman. I won't take that away from her because those are the looks she was born with. Her acting, however, if acting had looks, she'd be butt ugly, ass ugly. That could be taken as a double negative. Alright, if we had to compare acting talent to wrestling talent, she would be the Eva Marie of the acting world.
Yay.
Yeah. And everybody knows what Oni feels about Eva Marie, especially her mic skills. You know how most people pronounce the word inevitable as inevitable?
Yeah.
She goes and says inevitable.
Okay.
I think that was the first. I think I remember that was the first time we ever heard from her before Total Diva showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh
yeah, I forgot. Now I can block that out of my memory again. Like everything from mid 2013 after SummerSlam 2013.
Yeah, where she referred to Jinder Mahal as Ginger Mahal.
Ah, crap.
I mean, if I'm being honest, it wasn't all her fault. I mean, yeah, she was a bad promo girl. It was more of WWE pushing her way too fast. I mean, she just did the job. she just did the job. I don't know. Maybe I'm soft on her because she does kind of sort of give a shit about the wrestling business ish.
This is just me speaking objectively because we know that she trained in the Performance Center with Brian Kendrick, and to be fair, Brian Kendrick is a damn fine wrestler. Always has, always will be. But she didn't train with anybody else. I mean, Trish, girls like Trish Stratus, she may have trained with the guys as well, but Finlay also made her train with the girls. Because that's your competition. That's who you got to work with. And I feel like probably because Eva didn't have that chemistry and muscle memory to sort of tap into by not working with the girls. Also, that match with Bayley on NXT, God, that was painful. For context, people listening that think, oh, you're gonna say, what you're saying now is sexist. No, there's a difference between being sexist and being objective, i.e. calling it like I see it. Eva should have just stuck to modeling. Because she tried, I'll grant her this, she tried as a wrestler, but Eva, you weren't meant for this. It's really sad when Kelly was more of a competent wrestler than her. And yes, Raiden, I will go wash my mouth out with soap later.
hey, listen. She did what she had to do. Also, I gotta give congrats to her because I heard she's got married.
Wow.
Oh, good for her.
Only had a few things to say about Kelly when we did the 2011 Survivor Series review.
What a surprise.
Because the Divas title match was Beth Phoenix versus Eva Torres.
Eve Torres.
Thank you. I was partially right. Oni was then sort of saying, hey, Bubby, this is how you take bumps. Oh, but if you did that, you'd probably break every plastic bone in your entire body.
Oh!
God.
And Silent Night, I love this guy. He had his thoughts on Kelly and said, given how sloppy her wrestling is, you're worse than some B-movie stunt actors.
Oh.
And he referred to R-Truth as a fake-ass DMX.
Damn.
Oh, dear.
And I like R-Truth.
I'm not going to go saying this aloud because Silent Night went and said this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because he kind of says things that I can't really say.
Is Silent Night black?
Yes.
Aha! So I'm the second black guy.
Oh, dear.
God damn!
Yeah.
God! No!
I can't go saying that.
You can't see it, but I'm shaking my head with my hand in my face.
I think my brain
God.
stopped working.
Do you still keep in touch with the guy?
Yeah, I keep in touch with him. I talked to him a couple of times on Instagram.
Well, tell him he gets my Raiden stamp of approval for that.
And upon saying that, Oni went and cut a very impromptu piece of what it would sound like if R-Truth tried to do a rap like DMX. He went, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Little Jimmy, y'all gonna make me act the fool.
Oh, no!
We love you, X. Alright.
But yeah, like I say, folks, I'm not ever gonna type that out because I can't go saying that. It's like the line that Samuel L. Jackson said in The Man.
Oh, dear.
Hang on. Because this is what he was saying to, I think it was Kevin Hart, who was like his, like how some cops have information people on the street who they go to, they're like ex-cons or current cons, and they know certain things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because his character Van says to Booty, which I looked and thought, okay, I see where this is going. And for context, this is what Sam's character said.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Oh my god! I got nothing. I really got nothing.
Nope. Just no.
None of that. Shame on you.
You having fun there, Raiden?
I think Raiden's
Oh,
good.
you have no idea.
Oh my.
Reset Raiden. Put him off and on again.
Oh dear God.
Okay, Raiden, Tatiana Ali in a bikini.
Hey.
Hey, we got him back.
Whew. Funny thing, I'm actually considering reviewing that movie one day, and when it gets to that scene, I'm actually going to hold up a sign saying, "Folks, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot flagpole." It's kind of like that moment where I had Liz's avatar commenting on the interview scene in A Secret of My Success, where she just goes, "Like my sign says, I am not touching that." Because it's like we said before when we did the commentary for that review. You can't say that today. No. Prez is just asking, Raiden, are you okay? He's fine, dude.
He'll be okay. He's fine.
I good.
Okay, here's.
It's been. I know it's been a while, Prez, but nowadays I've been known to laugh like crazy when I see something fun.
Laugh like crazy. Okay. L-Man acting like a sincere, serene, and kind gentleman to all.
Oh, hell no, that's a lie.
What dark universe have we entered now?
I'm scared. I want to get off.
Here's another one.
Oh, God.
Here's another one. Oni loves the Young Bucks.
That is code for if he gets kidnapped. Yeah. Like, I'd like to post on Twitter. I won't say anything about me being kidnapped.
Who are you and what have you done with the real Oni Rakaku?
Oh, it's funny. I'm toying with the idea of reviewing the South Park movie.
Do it, God damn it, do it.
But in like a outtake blooper, what I'm gonna do, you know the scene where Cartman starts to use the V-chip to his advantage? I'm thinking about having this bit where I'll do it as Oni voice. Impact Wrestling, Eva Marie, crappy writing.
Oh God, everything's broken now.
Impact right, Claire Lynch.
Duck.
Yikes.
Or out of it, and it was like, and then it was like Nikki Bella, because like how they made Cartman. It's just to say
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, Barbara Streisand. Oh God.
Oh my God.
If they tried to do that movie today, that movie would likely go through so many rewrites. But then again,
bullshit. You know,
Yeah, no. Trey and Matt would not do that. No.
Oh please, nah. Even with that pandemic special, they are
No punches.
no filter. They don't give a fuck who they offend. They'll still do it.
oh
My God.
there we go. Yeah, OBS was having a moment for a moment, but we're all good. We're all good.
And Sean Retro's saying, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Well, this kind of comes as no surprise. The 30th anniversary retrospective for Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be delayed because, like I say, I've got some IRL things that I'm going to be dealing with this summer, and the fact, like I say, I'm going to try and get more reviews for Season 16 of Real Features back underway because I'm way behind this season. But then again, I had my first anxiety, I suppose, mental breakdown, for lack of a better description. So, mental health comes first. But I am going to be looking, like I say, to getting back on track. It just might mean that the retrospective for Sonic will probably come much later in the year because, well, it's like whenever I do retrospectives that aren't a 25th anniversary or not a 30th, it's like, do it where you've got the idea, you've got the material, and you've got the inspiration to do it. The biggest lesson I've found whenever you're trying to put something together, don't go looking for the idea, let it go look for you. Because when you're not looking for it is when it finds you, and then once you find the creativity, everything else just falls into place. Because for years, particularly when I used to do a lot of fan fiction stories, I get to a point where I've written like maybe 9 or 10 installments, and then I get to start on a new version, and then maybe a month in, I just run out of steam. It was only, maybe like years later, I suddenly get ideas again. It's like, okay, I can do this again. I can actually push forward. Because writer's block is one of the worst things you can have as a writer, is where you have the idea of what you want to take from image and glimpse in your head and then put onto paper, picture, or transfer to film. But I think one person described it as this. Stares at computer, can't write a thing, lies up in bed for half an hour, writes 2 whole chapters in your head. It does happen. I know Random's struggled in the past with writer's block on occasion, and that's no fun. Because again, I think it's that sense also, you want to be able to either continue or just be able to get to a conclusion / resolution of what you're trying to do for the story, because nobody likes to see a story unfinished. I wonder if, all these years later, Mark Webb would have liked to have finished off the Amazing Spider-Man movie series, because it did leave things on a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of part 2, because Osborn is tapping into the resources at Oscorp, and we have the Rhino in, let's call it for what it was, it may as well have been the Thunder Megazord.
Yes, giant. It was basically a giant mech.
Yeah.
Man, I understand why they did it. Like, big ass guy with a rhino suit. I don't know. I think with some things with old, you gotta modernize it a little bit. Like, for example, in the Wolverine, which is a really great movie, by the way.
Yes.
They made Silver Samurai into a giant mech, which is actually good. I mean, Silver Samurai as a character was cool, but I don't know if he would have done well in that movie. Also, it kind of made for. Also, when it was mentioned, it was definitely up for story purposes. So I liked it.
Yeah. It was supposed to lead into like a Sinister Six movie. I mean, I commend I commend Sony for having the ambition to go ahead with that, but I don't know if I would have paid money to go into the cinema to watch a movie about the Sinister Six, because I'd go into a theater to watch a movie about Spider-Man, not, the antagonist. I mean, Joker as a movie by itself.
Mate, it was pretty. I thought the movie it wasn't needed, but honestly, I feel like after everything the Joker went through, in different movies, especially after Suicide Squad, first, the first one, I feel like it definitely need the character to be
Yeah.
What's the word?
Redemption.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And has to be said, Joaquin Phoenix, he deserved that Oscar for Best Actor for that movie, because he acted he acted his fucking nuts off. And the fact that he lost that much weight to look that malnourished, I give him full props for that, because that's really taking method acting to the next level.
Yeah, kind of like how Christian Bale did it in Machinist.
Ooh. Apparently, he lasted on 1 apple and a pack of cigarettes a day.
Jesus!
Well, he had to look that malnourished just to do the part, but then immediately after finishing the filming for that, he had to bulk up and put on so much weight for Batman. I mean, most doctors would have probably told him not to get that skinny for the Machinist, because your body needs to be able to, live properly and have the right sustenance. But to all of a sudden go from an extreme of looking like a stick insect to, fattening up, because what happened, Christopher Nolan told him, get as big as you possibly can, and Christian took that as also stuff your face. So he was lifting weights, but he was also shoving pizza, donuts, cookies into his mouth. And one of the crew members says, bloody hell, Chris, what are we doing? Fat Man or Batman? And just before filming, he just managed to get his body, his muscle tone and his physique back down to what he needed to be for Batman, because Christian put on up to 220 pounds of muscle just to be able to fill the bat suit. But that was also having gone from an extreme of skinny as a rake to being as cuddly as a bear to then getting down to being lean and ripped. But, again, Christian is one of those people, he's a method actor. He tries to get into the head of these characters, and even going as far as doing the body transformation. But he said after doing the Ford versus Ferrari movie, because he had to do another body transformation where he had to lose so much weight just to be able to fit in the GT, he says, I'm never doing another body transformation ever again, because it's so taxing on the body and the heart to be able to do that. And Christian is a little bit north of 40, so he's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. People keep saying, oh, we want him back as Batman. It's like, he's done. He walked away after...
Do you really want to hear that shit again?
No.
Nah, I'm good.
That's all I say for people who want him back. Not his fault, but I don't know. It's just
I'm not worried all keep
his voice just got hoarser and hoarser. I'm like, okay, you're really gonna make him lose an octave. Dude, dude, you know it's bad when I actually know what Bane. You know it's bad it's really really bad when I actually know what Bane is saying. I mean, I already knew what he's saying.
Would you like to know?
You don't know pain. I actually like that voice. I actually like that song.
Yeah, and I think they did a similar voice for Bane in the Harley Quinn cartoon.
Yes, that was great.
Although it's funny. On a different note, I wish I would have loved to have typed this into the comments section because I watched critics' review of Ghostbusters 2, and I kind of low-key agree with a lot of his points in there, but it's when you hear Vigo saying this will be a season of evil and darkness. I'm like, why are the Kardashians being renewed again?
Oh, that's everybody's worst nightmare.
Although somebody was tempted to comment and it's like, why is Hillary running for president? I'm like, ooh, not touching that.
No.
Nope.
Yeah. One of my relatives, not saying whom, referred to her as evil incarnate. I'm not saying whom, but I think all of us in here know who I'm referring to. Yeah. Although, I'll save this particular comment for off-air because I can't really say this on there, and I don't really want to defame someone I know, so no, we're not doing that here. Dan's saying suddenly imagines Christian Bale doing the stick bug meme. Okay, that one just flew over my head.
I have no idea what that is.
No. Actually, I've been hearing rumors that WB might be approaching Christian Bale in case Michael Keaton needs to drop out of the Flash movie. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Oh.
Uno momento, por favor.
Gotcha.
Because I can report on the Flash movie starring Ezra Miller, Ben Affleck, and Michael Keaton now filming.
Ooh.
Production has begun on Ezra Miller's highly anticipated Flash movie. On Friday, Deadline reported that The Flash and its filmmakers, brother and sister team, Andy Muschietti?
Andy Muschietti. The same guy that did the It remake.
Ooh. Had formed a production company, Double Dream. Mentioned in the report is the status of the Flash film, which is noted to be already in production over in London. This report lines up with previous reports that filming on the Flash was set to begin this April at Warner Brothers Studios' Leavesden. Barbara, who serves as producer on the film, previously shared a photo on social media in February outside one of the sound stages with the caption, "The fun is in the inside." This is just the latest update on the Flash film. Earlier this week, it was reported that Snyder's Justice League and Godzilla vs. Kong VFX supervisor John DJ Desjardins has joined the film.
Give him that award now.
Revealing his involvement in a recent interview with the Arta VFX website. There has also been a bit of a casting news as well, with it being reported last month that Ron Livingston is taking over the role of Henry Allen, replacing Billy Crudup, who portrayed the character in both the theatrical Justice League and Snyder's Justice League. The upcoming Flash movie will see Miller reprise his role as Barry Allen the Flash. The film is also expected to see the return of both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton's iterations of Batman, as well as Kiersey Clemons' Iris West. Sasha Calle was previously cast as Kara Zor-El Supergirl, while Ian Lowe plays a young Barry Allen, and Sorzay Monica Jackson and Rudy Mancuso will both be playing currently unknown roles. Andy Muschietti is directing a script from the Birds of Prey's Christina Hodson. Wait a minute, Christina
What?
Christina Hodson.
No.
Wait. Was she not the same woman who wrote the Bumblebee script?
I'll be honest.
What?
Birds of Prey wasn't bad, but for me, I just did not like how they did Cassandra Cain. That's just it.
No.
But the whole movie itself was okay. I just wish the characters, got more screen time.
The movie is a bit of a hinge in the sense that it presents a story that implies a unified universe where all the cinematic iterations that we've seen before are valid. Muschietti said in previous interviews, it's included in the sense that it's saying that all that you've seen exists and everything that you will see exists is in the unified multiverse, excuse me. What captivated me about The Flash is the human drama in it. The human feelings and emotion that play in the drama. It's going to be fun too. I can't promise that there will be any horror elements, really, but it's a beautiful human story. Well, that ends the news of what if, will it, won't it. Michael Keaton is back as Batman, and once more we will get to hear, I'm Batman. Chris is Co92 saying, I also heard they might bring back Ray Fisher in Cyborg. I'm all for that, because I thought he was good as Cyborg.
Yeah, like give the guy a chance. Come on.
Yeah, it was really good. He definitely proved to me that he killed his cyborg. He has all his mannerisms, anything.
The thing I like...
Not personally, if you said, booyah, I'll be happy.
The thing I like... Yeah. The thing I like about his portrayal, soft-spoken, very cool, and calm and level-headed. He looked like a guy that had it all together, even though he didn't have it all together. He was able to put a brave face on things, even though he was still adjusting to who and what he was becoming. Which, that's also the signs of good quality leadership material, in the fact that you're keeping calm, even though you're going through a lot of changes that you're like, what the hell is going on with me?
Yeah. He was a guy that didn't ask to be this way. Just like the character in different incarnations. For example, the one where he appeared in Young Justice Outsiders.
Huh.
And, when I saw the performance, I definitely saw a little bit of that. Damn, Jimmy lost his mom in that movie.
Young Justice, as a series, I'm glad it actually did get renewed after so long. When they cut it off from after season 2, the fans were like, no, we want a third season. We want this resolved. And can I just say, I love Ms. Martian in that series. Yeah. She is just freaking adorable.
Yeah.
In a similar sense, with the new 52 adaptation of Teen Titans, I love the pairing of Nightwing and Starfire.
That was it. It was pretty genuine. And honestly, I know we're going on a tangent, but I'm just happy that Teen Titans is getting more love, especially not only an animated, not named Teen Titans Go, which I don't have a problem with, but I don't know why they just overplay it. But I'm just happy to see that it's getting more fanfare for animated movies and for the live action series.
I think what particularly sells it for Starfire.
Also shout out for them making Starfire black. I didn't see that coming, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
Aside from the decent writing, the fact that you get, a grade A voice actor in Kari Walgreen voicing her, I mean, particularly after her performance as Saya and Diva in Blood Plus, which, by the way, she killed it in that series. And she was also in HLCL.
Cooley.
Yeah, because she mentioned that at an anime convention, and she got a huge pop from the audience. And I love the stuff that she posts onto Facebook, particularly whenever she's like, having like family time with her pets. Yeah, she's just such a decent-hearted human being, and yes, in the context of that, I'm friends with her on Facebook.
Hey.
Oh, neat.
And it's moments like that where I tempt Win just that little bit to open the Facebook. Yes, you come to the Facebook. No, I have an opinion. She listens to Claire. MJ, for the last time, I do not sound like that. It's like that moment on Family Guy where they're doing their reality series. Like, oh, Peter, you got drunk in front of the kids. Oh, gosh, I do not sound like that.
Yeah.
Listen. Also, I'm just gonna say, Fran Drescher, at her old age, how you doing?
It just reminds me of that any of those moments that sends a chill down Chandler's spine. Oh my gosh! This is like,
Ow.
Bro, let me tell you something. Fran Drescher, she's 63, she's still fine as hell.
yeah. I like that moment where, because it was the episode where Rachel was giving birth to Emma, and of course, Monica and Chandler are finding a hospital room to themselves because Monica wants a child, because, she was a mother before she became a mother. And they hear, like, Janice laugh, and he goes, it's like, is that Janice? Or she's multiplied, in which case the whole world is doomed. That was another relationship in Friends that was just so self-destructive, and everyone's kind of looking to Chandler. Seriously, why do you keep going back to her? It's like, is the sex really that amazing? Oh god, I'm trying not to picture a love scene between those two. Oh, get out of my head!
Oh, please, no, we don't need that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
need an adult.
Why, Lydia, I am an adult. No, you are not.
No, you're not.
Crying out loud, Oni's more of an adult than her. Oh, good lord, that's disturbing on the face of it.
Oh, no.
Lydia, I'm an adult? Yes.
Keep telling yourself that,
Don't
sweetie.
say anything.
If he hears this, love you.
It's like, Lydia, I'm an adult in this situation, yes. Ew, if I'm an adult, that means I can go drinking with Raiden. Boy!
We good. Hey, I'm okay with it, but don't. I'm not. Okay, I should not say anything.
Raiden, just don't let me drink tequila, otherwise I will go start singing.
No, God. You know what?
Only on karaoke.
You know what? I'll record it for purposes.
That's called That's called extortion money.
Who says extortion? That's for me. That's for me.
Start spreading the news. Later, I don't know the rest of the words. Honey, coffee, now! Can
Off the stage now!
Yeah, all right. Can I take the guitar with me? No. Well, imagine him trying
Now
to play.
I'm getting that.
Go
Oh,
on.
sorry.
No, go on.
Now I've just got that Yakuza song that became a meme in my head. Done it.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Oh god, we've gone way off topic.
As we do.
Yeah, just like RDR, we'll talk about anything but wrestling. Sunday Night Live, we'll go completely off the tracks. Well, let's see.
We were on tracks.
Anyway,
It's when?
yes. I'll just summarize this very quickly, just so we don't derail further. Love the fact that that Batfleck is back. Like the fact that Keats is back. And if we can get Danny DeVito and the ever so graceful and elegant Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, even at your age, how you doing?
You look once, just one more time. Come on.
And
Yep.
She can still handle a whip pretty good.
Oh my. like the weirdest thing, like George Takei goes like, "Ooh my."
Damn it, Decay.
I like how Team 4-Star turned that into such a huge meme where it goes, "Goku, I swear, if you don't comply, I will ram your." Oh my! Damn it, Takei! Oh god. Then they had him like a weird thing on Family Guy where some guy wasn't taking his medication properly and he turned into Mr. Sulu from Star Trek. I'm like, okay, I have zero context for why this is going on. But then again, Family Guy was known for going all over the place, kind of like what we're doing at the moment. But that's more my fault than anything. Glad that Keats is back. Glad that Batfleck's back. Hopefully we'll get more context of what's going on. Whether Keaton is going to be back permanently, or maybe this is just his way of coming back one last time just to have closure. Because all these years later, he's still proud of the fact that he was Batman. And he still carries that with him. So maybe this is his way of, closing the door. Just so he can not move on, but move on. If you get my meaning. He still appreciates what the role did for him. But now he can just sort of leave it to rest. Steve, thoughts?
Look forward to it. It seems promising at the moment. Not much to say otherwise.
I'm actually kind of excited too, because I want to see what they do with this, especially with some of the people they've got in there, some of the cast replacements. Especially, I'm looking forward to seeing Ron Livingston as Henry Allen, because again, in my eyes, the only Henry Allen I've seen that's actually can match up is John Wesley Shipp in The Flash. He was fantastic in that. So it's like, again, that's your bar, dude. That is your bar. So now I'm actually really excited.
Master Raiden?
Yeah, like everyone said, looking forward to it. Ever since Snyder Cut, I've been really enjoying Ben Affleck as Batman. I just want to see more what he can do, especially like what happened in the future ending. I just want to see more. So that.
Alrighty. We mentioned stuff with Spider-Man earlier. There's a little bit of context now for Spider-Man No Way Home. Alfred Molina teases Dr. Octopus de-aged return in Spider-Man No Way Home. 17 years later, Alfred Molina will look the same as he did in Spider-Man 2 when he reprises the role of Doc Ock in No Way Home. Alfred Molina has opened up about his upcoming appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, which will even include the utilization of de-aging technology. In 2004, Molina played the role of the supervillain Dr. Octopus in Sam Raimi's superhero sequel Spider-Man 2, arguably the greatest Spider-Man movie ever. Changed my mind. It has since
one of the best portrayals of Dr. Octopus.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, there is the live-action version, and the animated version. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Kathy Vaughn was fantastic as Dr. Olivia Octavius.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she was pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like the new twist of the character.
Mm.
So I take it your enemies call you Doc Ock. Your friends call you Doc Ock. No, my friends call me Liv. My enemies call me Doc Ock.
It has since been revealed that Molina will reprise the role in No Way Home, although the news left Marvel fans with many unanswered questions. For his part, Molina was asked about his Spider-Man return in a new interview with Variety, joking that his involvement was the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Molina said his appearance was supposed to be a surprise. Now that the cat is out of the bag, Molina spoke about how it felt returning to the role after nearly 2 decades. It was wonderful. It was very interesting going back after 17 years to play the same role, given that in the intervening years I now have 2 chins, a wattle, crow's feet, and a slightly dodgy lower back.
Oof.
Ooh.
That's probably a little too much honesty than what I was expecting, but yeah.
Respect that.
Molina then confirms that he is reprising the same Dr. Octopus he played in Spider-Man 2, not a reimagined version of the character. Asked about how this could be the case, as Doc Ock died at the end of Spider-Man 2, very nobly, I might add, Molina noted how, in this universe, no one really dies. According to Molina, director John Watts told him that the movie would pick up from that moment in the river, referring to the climactic scene in which Doc Ock apparently drowns himself along with his reactor before the city is destroyed. The oblivious scene in Molina reprising that role is that he physically looks a little different after 17 years when expressing these concerns to Watts. Molina says he was given a rather simple response. He just looked at me and said, "Did you see what we did to Robert Downey Jr. and Sam Jackson? I don't have the same physicality that I had 17 years ago, that's just a fact." Molina's referring to Marvel Studios using CGI to digitally de-age RDJ to look as he did in 1991, and in the 2016 movie Captain America Civil War, Samuel L. Jackson was similarly de-aged as a younger Nick Fury in 2019's Captain Marvel. To be fair, you didn't even know, looking at those scenes with Sam Jackson, that he was de-aged, because here's another thing. The scene at the end of Iron Man 3 where Tony is throwing the arc reactor into the water, that's not RDJ. RDJ actually twisted his ankle on the set whilst they were filming like the last few scenes, so they CG'd his face onto a replacement actor. And looking at that scene, would you know that?
No.
Now that's good CG.
Seriously, I like stuff like that.
Yep. Molina also brings up how Martin Scorsese similarly de-aged Robert De Niro in The Irishman. We don't talk about the CG used for that. That was nasty. When deepfake does a spectacularly better job using free software, I might add. Come on. In any case, Molina also recalled how the Spider-Man 2 version of Doc Ock was heavily reliant on CG as it was. For his part, the actor describes how... Honestly,
if I'm being honest, the CGI was really good, especially with the arms.
Yeah.
Really good.
All he needs to really do is focus on his facial expressions, and his animated tentacles will do the rest. Why is it when someone says tentacles, I'm reminded of stuff from anime? I'm going too far to repress that memory.
No.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Nope.
And then remember that it's the tentacles that do all the work. Please stop saying that.
Stop it.
Yes. Liz, can I watch hentai? No!
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 My basic
Absolutely
physical move
not.
as Doc Ock, as the actor, is just this glares intensely. I see several memes being created from that already. I just do that a lot, and the arms are doing all the killing and smashing and breaking. I'm just doing glares intensely. It's like, okay. With a kind of mean look on my face, it was fantastic. Well, there you have it. Alfred Molina is Doc Ock again.
Deal.
Aaron Izzard's in the chat. Hello to Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey.
How's everyone tonight?
Hey,
We're doing just fine. As long as we have J.K. Simmons. Aaron smacks MJ with newspaper. No, bad MJ. MJ bad. Aaron Izzard has suddenly become the Hulk.
Hello, Aaron. If anyone wants to see appeal, you'll know.
Aaron.
Damn. I'm completely on board. I mean, if it's picking up from that exact moment from Spider-Man 2, then Doc Ock, for all intents and purposes, is going to be a babyface in the movie. Because he did do the face turn when he realized what was going wrong. And the fact that we're going to be having...
I did like that, whole thing after, what happened was almost the first time, and then it's like after he killed all the doctors, and it's like, I couldn't have miscalculated. It was good, right? It's like I like that whole little I like that little thing he was talking about with his arms and shit. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. And if anyone ever played the movie adaptation of Spider-Man 2 the game, by the way, greatest Spider-Man movie game ever, you just it's hearing this line from Alfred. It goes, hit him again. What a good idea. You can tell he's enjoying himself there.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I find it much better. I don't know. Like, aside from I think the last good Doc Ock was in the really highly underrated, sadly canceled series, Spectacular Spider-Man. I love
yes.
that version of Doc Ock.
Yes.
I think for me, no one has come close. Well, aside from the Ultimate Spider-Man 1, which got better, which absolutely positively got better in the last couple seasons when they got rid of that whole team stuff.
Aaron saying, you say my name that was again. I'll reach across the Atlantic and smack you across the mooch.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Please. I think I'm scared of you.
Tonight on Monday Night Raw, slandering Cyber-Raiden versus Aaron Izzard in the steel cage of death match. Winner gets a title shot for the undisputed title, and why not? And then just Raiden walking out, rolling in. Okay, I thought I'd get a bit more of a response, but never mind. The fact we've also got Jamie Foxx reprising his role as Electro. I'm going to be blunt in saying this. They could have written his character better, but what he had to work with, he put his back into it.
He did, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm still burnt. I'm a little burnt out from watching Wonder Woman 1984 with the whole nerdy guy or girl comes villain. I don't know, man. It's just like, can you stop with that shit? We get it, nerds are great. We nerds are great, but come on, we don't have to be. Just because when we get so powerful.
Can we be honest? I don't think Kristen Wiig was the problem with that movie.
Oh no! Of course not. For me, it was just the whole nerd trope. Nerd trope turning into a badass, but turns into an asshole.
Yeah. And it wasn't really the whole because there's been very varying different incarnations of Cheetah. There's this version, which I think is the original, and there was the one that Justice League, the animated series, did, where she was a scientist that didn't have enough funding for her experiments, so she experimented on herself because she believed in what she was doing. And that one episode where Batman showed what a player he was.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody wrote in the comments like, wait, is Batman a furry? And I'm like, do you think he cares?
No.
He's Batman.
That's my fetish.
And the way that this, I remember seeing this years ago, the way that this YouTuber edited it, immediately afterwards you hear, I forget the other voice actor who voiced Soups in Justice League, because,
George Newbern.
thank you. Yeah, because Tim Daly wasn't available. But George Newbern's Superman just says, how does Batman do it? And I'm like, he's Batman. What other explanation do you want?
Yeah.
Because he's Batman.
Yeah.
End of story.
And like I say, I like that version of Cheetah because, alright, she turned into a heel as a result, but it was somebody that believed in their work. And you ever notice a lot with the 90s and early 2000s DC female characters, they often draw them with very suggestive curvy figures. I kind of looked at it at the time and thought,
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, is there something you want to tell us?
Black Canary,
Oh,
Fire, Huntress, Wonder Woman, Hawk Girl. I'm like, listen, hey, for the kids, but hey, it's also something for the adults. I'll just say that right here, right now. Kind of saw that in that episode Grudge Match where.
Oh yeah.
Where the villain roulette returned after her operation got fucked up and started to make up like a all female fight club.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and the crazy thing, there was a Nightwing cameo, but no Nightwing. It was just Shadow. Because for some reason, when the Batman was a thing, they couldn't use all the Batman characters.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but honestly, like you, me, and everyone else said, that the Batman was that damn fun.
Yep. With regards to what other, I suppose, legacy Spider-Man actors that are likely going to get brought in, because, you know, there's been so many other, so many actors that have been in any Spider-Man movie series over the last 19 years. And next year's the 20th anniversary of the original.
Just add Willem Dafoe, goddammit. Re-add him back.
Yeah.
Just do it, you cowards. You cannot find any Norman Osborn / Green Goblin guy that.
No.
We all know he goes over the top. We all know it was the best. It was the best incarnation of Green Goblin ever. Don't at me. Y'all know this. Aside from the 90s one, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, they could get Hobgoblin, but I don't know. Green Goblin just it was just that type of character. It was just like, you know.
Green Goblin is iconic in terms of Batman Rogues Gallery. Well, Spider-Man.
I was about to say.
That brain fart.
Yeah. It'd be great if they do get Willem Dafoe to reprise his role, because there's still that word on the wire that we're not only going to get Kirsten Dunst back as Mary Jane, but we're also going to get Emma Stone back as Gwen. By the way,
yay!
best Spider-Man love interest on film ever. Because here's the thing.
And make her Spider-Gwen. Or go
Please.
Yes.
And don't kill her off this time. Ugh.
Please don't.
Nowadays Gwen Stacy is very integral. I mean, OG Gwen Stacy's dead, but hey, now you can just say fuck it, bring her back because of multiverse theory.
Yep.
And also, we don't acknowledge Zendaya as MJ. No, squash that noise. I mean, I like Zendaya as an actress because she sells her character well, but she is not MJ. No. And also, whilst we're here, all three of you in the call and those in the audience, out of the three, who would you pick? Zendaya's MJ, Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy, or Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane?
Gwen Stacy. No ifs, ands, or
Definitely
buts.
Gwen Stacy.
Stacy.
Yep. And also, and when I say this is not a knock on Zendaya because, again, good actress. But Emma Stone not only had the looks, but she had the talent to back it up, to look more than competent. Whereas Kirsten, first movie, I liked her. I thought she was cool. Second movie, yeah. Third movie, it's like if I was a chick, I would beat you silly because the way you treated Peter. All right, Peter was acting like an ass in Spider-Man 3 and not caring about Mary Jane's feelings, but she wasn't exactly innocent in that either because she was trying to make it all about herself as well.
And I think the audience agree.
Because it's not so much the writing's fault per se, because the writing is supposed to try and portray Mary Jane in that way, but I'm sorry, Kirsten in Spider-Man 3 was just woeful. Because when I say this down the middle. Kirsten is just an example of great looks but not so great talent. When she's given the right material, like how Megan Fox was given the material that complements her in the Ninja Turtles franchise, she can actually put out a good performance. But, we saw through the first two Transformer movies she was in. I think people were glad when she, quote-unquote, left. Like, no, you were fired because of what you said. Even though Michael Bay says in the extra features making of, it's like, oh, Megan didn't look like Michaela anymore. And I'm like, you lying sack of shit. It's like, we know why she wasn't there, because she compared you to a rather unsavory historical figure.
Yep.
And also when
does he have the initials R and T?
R and T.
R and T.
No, don't believe so. And then Spielberg caught wind of this, and he's like, fire her. Because when you say certain things that get under the skin of one of the executive producers, you're not going to go very far. And those out there in the know, people know exactly what I'm talking about, but, because we're a family podcast, but we're not a family podcast, even though we're on age restriction. There are certain things in age restriction even I'm not going to say. Because it's like Chris Rock once said about how to not get your ass kicked by the police. Now, you've heard some people say, I wouldn't do that shit if I was you, or hear some of that shit. He's basically saying, here is the line in the sand, you do not cross it. I mean, that'd be like Liz saying, here is this line, and the line translates to, "Do not bring up the young bucks with Oni."
Please don't.
Or in
No.
or in Raiden's case, let me think. Gotta think of something that would irritate Raiden. Well, that's a long list. I'll be like this one saying here. Do not try to convince him that Kim Kardashian is a good person.
Yeah, Megan.
Or do not try to convince him that Jackie from that 70s show was worth watching.
I swear to God.
Or comparing Vince McMahon to Shakespeare.
Yeah, never happening.
No.
Although, could you imagine... Actually, if anybody could cut a Shakespearean-like promo, it would have been Damien Sandow. He had the right look and he had the right projection in his voice. Like, I could have seen that. But Vince doing like a Shakespearean promo is like, no. You got a better chance of... You have a better chance of Lance Storm being charismatic. Because this is the problem with Lance back in the day. Amazing ring technician, arguably one of the best technical wrestlers in the ring. Mic skills, however, he needed a Paul Heyman. Just saying. Dan, really?
What did he say?
Dan says, I suddenly want to hear Vince McMahon recite lines from Midsummer Night's Dream. Let's not give him ideas.
Unless he's playing bottom, which means if he's a jackass, that makes sense.
That'd be like... Let me think about this. That'd be like trying to get Oni to act on stage to The Notebook. Never happen.
No.
Yeah. Although on the subject of wrestling, I do like the fact in both Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 1, they do have links to Spidey's origin where he did actually compete as a wrestler. Although with Amazing Spider-Man, it was a little bit more subtle. He lands in a wrestling ring and then sees, a luchador mask, but where he kind of gets the inspiration for his mask and what have you. And there is that rumor going around on the wire that we're not only going to get Tobey Maguire, but we're also going to get Andrew Garfield back as Spider-Man. Now, if they're able to get Tobey Maguire, who, by the way, is drinking from the fountain of youth, because even though, alright, he does look a tiny bit more distinguished than what he looked last time as Peter Parker. But if you were to look at him today and say, does this look like a man in his 40s? You'd say early to mid-30s at the very least, because that man is a Time Lord. He does not age. Dan says, I miss Randy Savage, so does everyone else. Never gonna get the image of Bonesaw out of our heads.
Yeah.
Got you for 3 minutes.
Funny thing. I'm not gonna say this. When he said, I got you for 3 minutes of playtime, I think I saw someone type this.
Oh no. Oh no.
Phrasing.
More than likely. Oh!
Damn!
That's a grace!
For context, I'm quoting, not saying that myself.
Oh my god, no!
Trouble is, now that you've seen that, you can't get that image out of your head.
Oh my eye!
I think I need to find a blunt water cause amnesia.
There's my bleach.
Go to the Forget Mountain. If you don't know this from that George of the Jungle cartoon. Forget.
Oh my eye! Can't claw them out fast enough.
Forget.
According... Now, I don't know how verified these sources are, but apparently when Randy got high on something, which back in the 90s, with regards to wrestling, there's always that possibility because,
High on crack.
Yeah. It's alleged that whilst he was under the influence, he apparently confessed that to his girlfriend. Now, again, I don't know how truthful that is, because again, could be an unverified source, but I don't know. Because even I know I'm going to sound like a pun here. I couldn't believe how savage the crowd were in February 2016 when Stephanie was trying to accept the Vincent J. McMahon Achievement Award, and you hear the fans in the background, Randy Savage.
Oh,
Randy Savage.
Oh.
That is when the crowd does not give a damn. These days, the crowd would probably get censored even more now because McMahon's like, we don't want this being brought up. It's like...
I don't think they care.
It'll be cool if both Maguire and Garfield get brought back in, because I feel like Garfield had at least 2 more movies left in him as Spider-Man. As Peter Parker, he didn't have the shy, awkward dorkiness that Tobey Maguire portrayed to near perfection, but at the same time, Garfield had the Spider-Man aspect of the role down to beyond perfection because you couldn't get the guy to shut up. Whereas with Maguire, he only maybe cracked 2 jokes per movie.
And
Spidey.
Some of them were bad.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
I'm out, Gabby, out of your mind. I'm like, no, cringe. No.
Although, funny you go and say, are you out of your mind? I do like that one scene from the first Spider-Man game on the PS1 and the Dreamcast when he goes to Venom. This was Rino Romano voicing Spidey at that time. Goes to Venom. Are you out of your mind? Don't answer that. That sort of humor.
Yeah.
That's what Maguire's portrayal was missing. If they were just to have a situation where Maguire and Garfield could do the fusion dance, so you get a superior Spider-Man, but without the crappy storyline.
Oh no.
Yes, that's why I said without the crappy storyline. Where Parker could be they could be the perfect Peter Parker, but they could also be the perfect Spider-Man, where Parker, dorkiness, Spider-Man, Deadpool without the guns.
No, that's Deadpool without his swords.
It would be like I say, the perfect blend. If both of them can come back, that'll be great. And I've said this so many times on record since 2014 with Amazing Spider-Man 2. Garfield and Stone and the suit and, Jamie Foxx's portrayal with what he was given as Electro. Stone and Garfield were easily the saving graces of that movie because the two had amazing chemistry with each other. And it helped that they were dating each other in real life at the time, so they weren't really, resourcing anything they didn't have to use their imagination with because the chemistry was already there. And, I liked Garfield's comedic timing, the way he could be a complete snark, particularly when Electro's going off on one and he goes, a villain named Sparkles. It's like, that's what was missing. That's what was missing from the Sam Raimi trilogy. That right amount of snark. Or, that brilliant scene from the first Amazing. It's like, are you a cop? Really? You seriously think I'm a cop in a skin-tight red and blue outfit? Or when he's... or, the rather... cruelness of where he's shooting so many webs and then actually shooting a web ball in between the guy's legs. It's like, oh, come on, man. That's going a bit too far. But like I say, it was done to, perfect perfection, and I absolutely enjoy the first Amazing movie for what it is. The second one,
yeah, in the first one, the one scene that sold it for me was in that scene with the criminal. He's all like, the guy pulls out a knife. It's like he's pretending he's cowering in fear. It's like, my one weakness, it's small knives. I'm like, you're an asshole, and I love you.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, one of James Horner's last few movies, because unfortunately the composer died in a plane crash, I think a year or two later. I know. But that score, I mean, a lot of people compared it to what he did with the first Titanic movie, but for Spidey, it was perfect, especially in the track that he used, Saving the City, where he's swinging from crane to crane. Beautiful score. And,
Yeah, that was really... Yeah, that was...
I don't dislike Hans Zimmer's score from the second movie, but it felt like it belonged to a different series, It's kind of like... Use an example. It'd be like in the first Tim Burton Batman movie, you hear Danny Elfman's score. No, you know what the score is from the first two movies. Mm-hmm. And then imagine you go into Batman Returns expecting Danny Elfman, and all of a sudden you hear like, what the?
Oh my god, that was so good.
But it's like I say, it'd be like such a weird contrast and such a departure. Alright, use another example. Let's just say they make a brand new Blade animated series. Really, really high quality, where it's doing the animation style of, say, Justice League Doom, and they get Alfonso Ribeiro as the voice of Blade, and for the intro, let's say they get Dr. Dre and Eminem doing the opening, and they call it like, I'm the Blade of the Night, and then sequel series, Raiden's expecting to like Blades of the Night 2, and all of a sudden he hears Lil Wayne be like, boy, get out of my series!
Oh my god.
See what I mean? It's like, there'll be such a huge contrast. It'd be like... Alright, another example, Lids could be able to relate to this. Say they make a really high quality CG... No, say they make a high quality anime series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where, let's say, they get... Oh, you're really going to make me think for this. Let's say... There's someone talking in the background there.
Sorry about that. I was watching
All right.
Michael Malamute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they get for like a really badass entrance. Damn, really making me think here. They get Anna Johnson that did one of the official soundtracks for Spider-Man 2, We Are. Like, first season, you have her doing that. And then second season, you have Aqua doing the follow-up intro. Be like, what? And it's done in, like, the style of Barbie girl. Lids will be like, no, 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 no. No, no.
How about no?
And one final one, and this is, you know, let's say they take another attempt at doing a Captain Scarlet CG animated series, but it's all done high quality, similar to that of Thunderbirds or Go, but the animation's done in an animation style, let's say, akin to Blade. Not Blade, Spawn. They do like a Captain Scarlet animated series, but it's done with that dark style of like Blade or Batman the animated series. And for the opening intro, they get Duran Duran with A View to a Kill. And then the follow-up season, they get, think of something really, really tacky. Imagine like the follow-up season, they get Ant and Dec to do the song. I'd be like, get off!
Oh, please, no.
But then again, these are the same people who, as PJ and Duncan, actually did the song Let's Get Ready to Rumble back in the day. Yeah, they're also a group of... They're also like a duo that actually said psych in one of their songs. Like, psych. No one said that since the 90s. You know, I'm all for being old school, but not like that. Oh, I think Aaron Izzard's reacting to the idea of like an animated series of Captain Scarlet done to like the animation styling of Spawn's like, oh, I like that. Shut up and take my money.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, like how
I need it.
It's like I say, you know, how you go and, you know, do such a weird contrast like that where the styles don't really match. Long tangent over. Glad Alfred Molina's back because other than Empress Zimblast, who I think was the voice actor for not only Doc Ock but Alfred Pennyworth in Batman the Animated Series, he was my go-to for Doc Ock, and this is something that me and Random like to sort of reminisce. It's the way he sells this line, Pingree. I don't know why, but you know, like you get your favorite characters, certain lines they will go and say. It's just one of those things. It puts a smile on our face. I don't know why. It's just one of those things that just sells it. And Molina as Doc Ock, perfect, because that was a sympathetic villain done right. In a time where, you know, sympathetic villains were not forced down our throat. Because a lot of people now actually want villains just to be plain evil. You know, there's no sympathetic backstory. They're bad just because they're bad. Molina's version of Doc Ock, as a sympathetic villain, it was done right. in a time where it wasn't really done that much, whereas now it's just done to the point of exhaustion. Alls I ask, if they are de-aging him, please make sure you use the CG that was used for RDJ and Sam Jackson, not the stuff that we saw in The Irishman, because that looked nasty. And if we get, other Spider-Man heels coming back, all the more better. Just please don't bring back Topher Grace's Venom. We like to pretend that version doesn't exist.
Although, maybe, if it's possible, maybe tease Tom Hardy as Venom somewhere there.
He is supposed
that would be fun.
He is supposed to exist within the MCU, because in the Morbius movie, you do see Michael Keaton's Vulture showing up, but also within the trailer of that movie, you see a picture of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So it's not really clear where that goes. Also, that Morbius trailer couldn't have come out at a worse time, because he goes to a foreign country where he gets bitten by a bunch of bats spreading a really contagious disease, and it's like, guys, really bad timing.
Awkward.
Very. But yeah, long-winded tangent, but it's been kind of useful just for me just to say my piece, as I often do. Glad Molina's back. I really hope the CG's decent. And that's it. Raiden.
Oh yeah, like I said, he's definitely one of the best. My personal favorite portrayal of Doc Ock himself. So, hopefully his character's retained after Spider-Man 2. So, can't wait.
Steven?
I can't add anything else more to it, except maybe if they do confirm, Emma Stone is confirmed to be there as Gwen Stacy, please, if there is a post-credit sequence, please tease her at the end as Spider-Gwen.
Please.
Seriously.
Also on the subject of that, I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
It deserved that Oscar. And I like the way Miles Morales was portrayed in that movie. He reminds me so much of Darius from Camp Cretaceous. Just a very likable and, a very reasonably decent protagonist. Although,
what did you think? Oh, sorry.
Although, I had to sort of listen a couple of sort of got taken aback a bit when I could hear Chris Pine voicing that universe's version of Peter Parker. I'm like, okay then. I mean, don't get me wrong, he plays it well. But, I'd like to hear him do more of it, because also, him singing Spider Bells, I was like, okay, yes. Spidey having a Christmas album.
Oh my god, that was funny.
Yeah. What did you think of Haley Steinfeld's performance as Spider-Gwen?
Oh, I loved her performance as Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
What about Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir?
Yes!
I like how he kind of hammed up the exaggerations of talking like he's low below the radar. But it's Nick Cage being Nick Cage, it's what he does.
Oh my god.
But Haley as Gwen, she's not only a decent on-screen actress, as we know from the Bumblebee movie. She's a decent singer as well. She's actually one of the very few, I suppose, dual performing artists that does well in both. It's very rare when you get a performer that's able to do both jobs competently. And I can only think of 2 other people that have been able to do this extremely well. One of which is Whitney Houston, may she rest in peace, and the other being Will Smith, because both of them started out as musical artists and then transitioned over into acting competently. And I see the exact same thing with Hailey. Of course, there have been other people trying to transition from singing to acting, and it didn't pan out well. Britney Spears, we're still trying to forget Crossroads. Why'd you do it?
Yeah.
Because money.
No, that too. And
She was still, still a household name at that time.
And also, Madonna. We're still trying to forget the next best thing.
And we're trying to forget Swept Away. Let's make a list of movies that Madonna's in that we're trying to forget.
Although she did alright in Evita, to my understanding.
And she was great in Dick Tracy. Don't have any problems with her in that. It's just that everything else. It's just,
Although with Swept Away, I watched that for inappropriate reasons back in the day, and the movie was trash, but young 20 version of me, it's like someone just says, oh, Madonna's in an 18 rated movie, going to watch.
Ooh.
Hey, early 2000s, Madonna was still fine as heck. To be fair to her, even now, alright, she's a distinguished lady. But she looks great for her age. But Madonna, I say this sincerely and dignified. Please, no more topless shoots at your age. No one needs to see that. Yeah, as a way of Madonna being Madonna, she went and did a topless shoot at 56. And it's like, Madge, we love you. We do, but there's a reason why they say at a certain point, please cover up. She's still a great singer. She still knows how to perform, but there are certain things I don't need to see at that age. In her 20s and 30s, how you doing? But now, not so much. Just saying. I mean... That'd be like, and folks, for context, before you get on the, oh, you're fat shaming, first of all, it's not about that at all. You can get, average size and slim size people not looking so great on the eye, so don't think I'm singling anybody out. That'd be like asking Raiden to look at Roseanne Barr in a swimsuit. It'd be like, no, I need bleach.
Oh, God, why?
See? That's exactly my point. Co92 says, let's not forget that Madonna tried to direct a movie before.
Did she?
Do I dare even ask?
What movie?
Can't have
God, what movie?
Co92, you have me intrigued now. Come on.
Also found another movie article, which I think Raiden might like to talk about.
I'm just waiting on what Co92's trying to say, because he obviously had, he obviously knows a movie that she was trying to direct.
Probably take a while for him to tug it out.
I never did get round to watching the whole amount of Dick Tracy, but from what little I remember of it, Madonna was actually okay as Breathless Mahoney, and Warren Beatty, he played a good Tracy. I wonder if that's a movie franchise that'll ever get revisited. Because, you know, like how Hollywood likes to reuse things, and, you know, jazz seems to be making a comeback, so to do something 30s and 40s might be worth...
Get behind that.
Yep.
I mean, I'd like to see, you know, a new age... When I say new age noir, I'd like to see a movie done with today's, you know, high-end 4K filming capabilities, but have something set in the 20s, 30s, or maybe early 40s, but just done with the competent writing and filming techniques of today, just to get that atmosphere. You know, think how, you know, like what I did with the editing filters for the Roger Rabbit review, but done with today's modern filming. You know, just to really create that atmosphere, that smoky, you know, vibe.
Mysterious.
Yeah. There's something about that. It's like whenever I go to watch some, you know, steam railway documentaries, and you see at the station at night where you see, you know, the locomotives pulling out, and you see all the steam in the black and white, you know, film like that. There's something quite mesmerizing and, you know, character with it. And that's the thing that you don't get in color filming. Black and white just has this way of bringing out character with it. Because didn't Alex Bornstein, Robert Downey Jr., and George Clooney do a period piece where it was called Good Night and Good Luck, but it was done all in black and white? And when you see certain scenes where, you know, like dinner lights are on and everybody's like moving around in a nighttime scene, but it's done in black and white, it really helps to give, you know, those scenes character that you couldn't get anywhere else. That's how I see it. He says, and I quote, "The movie in question is called Filth and Wisdom." That sounds like a music video she would have done in the early 90s. Because remember, Madonna liked to do vampy stuff back then. And she's sort of trying to do that today when she did a duet with Nicki Minaj called, and I quote, "Bitch, I'm Madonna." Okay, Madge, seriously? I've loved your music since I was young enough to understand and comprehend it, with stuff like Papa Don't Preach, Like a Prayer, or True Blue, or one of my personal favorites is Holiday or Lucky Star. I'm more of a fan of her earlier work because it was raw talent, you know, just starting to emerge. If she had sung something like Bitch, I'm Madonna in her early part of her career, I could understand that. But it's like, Madonna, you're in your 60s saying this. It's one thing being rebellious when you're younger because you're getting it out of your system. But when you're, you know, you've been around the world a few times, you've done a few world tours, and you're doing that, it comes off as cringe. It'd be like... Let's think of something that's relatable. Something that people could... It'd be like now, if Oni Rikaku was running around everywhere in a red and yellow mask, still saying he's a Hulkamaniac. Because he was when he was a kid. He was a Hogan fan, believe it or not. Whereas now,
Mhm.
you wouldn't see him doing that because it's pure cringe. Mind you, Oni would
I take
probably
off the
go.
mask and just friggin' smack him upside the head. No, you know better.
Whereas now, Oni would probably make the argument that Hogan's whole career is cringe. In some cases, he might be right. But yeah, it's just. I don't know. Let's get to this article that that Steve's putting forward. Let me see. Ko92 says she's also directed a few more movies since then. I knew about this from Todd in the Shadows. Okay.
Ah.
Okay. Right. The box office for Godzilla vs. Kong has roars to pandemic best of $390.2 million globally. The fourth installment in Legendary's Monsterverse has hit $80.5 million domestically and $309.7 million overseas. Godzilla vs. Kong has stomped past $390 million at the global box office to become the top-grossing Hollywood movie of the pandemic after besting the $365 million earned last year by fellow Warner Brothers release Tenet.
Yeah.
And it had no trouble staying. And it had no trouble staying atop the weekend charts with 7.7 million domestically in its third outing to hit 80.5 million through Sunday. Overseas, it took in 12.2 million for a foreign total of 309.7 million and 390.2 million worldwide. China, where the box office has made a stunning comeback, rules the pandemic box office chart overall. Hi Mama's grossed a huge 821 million, followed by Detective Chinatown 3 with 863. In the US, the fourth installment in Legendary's Monsterverse passed up Tenet's entire run 2 weeks ago. Godzilla vs. Kong had the advantage of being the first movie to open after cinemas in New York and Los Angeles began reopening, albeit at reduced capacity. The film's performance has been a boost for the battered film and exhibition business and underscored the pent-up demand among the moviegoers to return to the theatre. The tentpole is also available on HBO Max, although viewership numbers, unlike box office grosses, aren't disclosed. Godzilla vs. Kong's foreign showing is led by China, where it has earned $177 million to date, the best showing of any title in Legendary's Monsterverse, not adjusted for inflation. Australia is next up with $19.1 million, followed by Mexico 17.3 and Taiwan 12 million. IMAX has contributed $28.4 million overseas, or a huge 9% of the entire foreign tally. Many parts of Europe are still battling the COVID-19 crisis and are under lockdown. Don't remind us. Hollywood is hopeful those markets will be open within the next 2 months. Canada, part of the North American box office, also continues to struggle. All hold, 56% of North American theaters are now reopened. Warners are also reporting foreign numbers on Sunday for video game adaptation Mortal Kombat, which doesn't land in North America until March 23.
I'm here, damn it.
Yeah. The pick grossed $5.7 million for the weekend from 28 markets from an early 2-week total of $19.2 million. Elsewhere in North America, Bob Odenkirk's action pick Nobody, Universal, ended Sunday with a domestic total of $19.1 million and $34.5 million globally after coming in number 2 for the session with $2.5 million in North America. Screen Gems, The Unholy Finished, in third place with $2.1 million for the domestic tally of $9.6 million, followed by Raya and The Last Dragon with 1.9 for a domestic total of 37.7. Tom and Jerry rounded up the top 5 with 1.1 million for the domestic cum of, I think it's trying to say accumulation of 42.6 million. Well, now there's a little bit more of it, but it's just sort of going into Tom Cruise's Top Gun sequel is on Oh, it's coming in July too. I've got something to go watch in July. Yes, along with Fast 9, and it does look like they're going into space from what we saw from the most recent trailer. And apparently, on an amusing note, the director of that movie is not ruling out a crossover with Jurassic World. I'm intrigued by that possibility.
Oh my god, there's another thing where Double Toasty can say, we called that shit.
Aaron Izzard, give it to me now. Hey, Universal, I'm just saying, do this for me. Knight Rider, Jurassic Park crossover. Give me. It's good news for the Monsterverse, and the fact that Godzilla vs. Kong seems to be leading the charge with people coming back into the audience. I am going to say, though, the only thing that is both awesome, but it kind of takes me out of the scene, Godzilla's evil laugh. I was not prepared for that.
Oh my god.
I'm just looking at you here going, I'm like, the fuck?
Is this the Godzilla creepypasta? What the hell's going on here?
Wait, Godzilla.exe?
Nah, there was a story of creepypasta based on the old NES game.
All right.
It's kind of messed up.
Like I say, it's good news. There's one YouTuber that actually added subtitles, particularly whenever Kong was communicating with the little girl via sign language. And it's just some of the things that the G-Man was actually sort of saying to Kong, particularly when he's like yelling through the halls like, "Hey, get off my throne!"
No!
That'd be like Raiden like walking down and into his gaming chair, and you know, think of like an annoying kid that's in his gaming chair, and he's like playing, I don't know, the latest Call of Duty. It's like, excuse me, what do you think you're doing? Get out of my chair.
Really? I don't see your name on it.
SpongeBob reacting, I need it.
That was more of me referencing Mortal Kombat because I need that. I need it now. Give it to me.
Of course, they had a Mortal Kombat series out originally in the 90s with Christopher Lambert in one of the roles.
That was the original film series, yeah. But
you don't like to talk about it?
The less we talk about the sequel, the better. The less we talk about the sequel, the better.
Noted. Like I say, it looks like good news. Especially with the movies that were originally slated for release last year, as I mentioned, Top Gun 2, we have waited 35 years for the sequel. I'm hoping we don't have to wait another 35 years to get another sequel because, folks, let's be real, there's probably a good chance Tom Cruise wouldn't be around after that point.
Yeah.
Just saying. I mean, he's in great shape, and he seems to be a Time Lord as well, because I don't know what it is, but he's definitely drinking from the fountain of youth. And here's the thing I didn't even know. Tom Cruise is actually a fully licensed pilot.
Seriously?
Yeah. He actually flew his jet plane for real. Because he trained in the original Top Gun to fly those planes for real. Alright, some bits and pieces were done via a blue screen, but all the stuff that we're going to see in the sequel, he did all that for real. And even had like screen tests with some of the actors so that he could do like chemistry tests and just to see if they could handle the G-force of some of the speeds that those planes would go up to, because F-Raptors, they don't mess about. One Raptor that I was doing some research on when I was doing one fanfic story that was going to be set in the 80s, the one I modeled after, which I think was an F-14, at top speed that thing could fly at 1,000 miles an hour. They don't mess around. So they had to prep themselves properly for that movie because, when you hear them breathing intently, that's not acting, they're actually reacting because it pushes them. The other ones, like I say, Fast 9 is going to be in, and it looks like the rumors about them going into space is actually legit because apparently
it's not even the space part, Brad. That trailer had fuck.
Because apparently they were actually putting a Pontiac Fiero on a space shuttle. I'm like, okay, I love Pontiacs, don't get me wrong, but come on.
I can deal with the superhuman bullshit. I can deal with that. But this shit burned me the fuck out, man. I'm sorry. I feel like Martin from Double Toasted. When you see all that shit, I'm like, no.
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing Supernova Cyber-Raiden.
Oh no.
I can deal with superhero shit. I can, but Fred, my limit was broken after fucking Furious 8. Or 8 of the Furious. I don't know.
Crikey.
That'd be like imagining Oni coming in with a monster pickup truck, but he's got VTOL jets underneath them.
Oh my god. Don't give him.
Why am I getting an image of Oni piloting Thunderbird 2?
Now, keep him well away from her! Keep him well away from Thunderbird 2!
Oh my god.
He'd probably end up either one, crashing it, or I don't know, he'd probably start. I could go say like redneck stuff here, but I'm controversial enough this evening. I'm not going to go down that road.
Oh, if anything, he'd probably sell it for parts and get himself a new Gunpla.
Ooh, can I get the Gunpla? Haven't you got enough? I want to get the
still want the Neo Zeon. Fuck you, we're not getting that shit.
I want
either that or he turn it into a Gundam.
I want the Hulk Hogan Gunpla. No, you don't.
Oh, you don't.
Oh dear. The other one that we're getting, and I'm really excited that this one's coming out because IGN have been uploading clips. Paul Rudd, in what I can only presume is in Walmart, with one of the scenes from Ghostbusters 3. And here's the thing. Notice how that scene seems to be paying homage to the exploding eggs in Dana Barrett's apartment from the first movie, because you have the mini Marshmallow Man popping out of the packet, some are popping and exploding, getting melted, and it's using Elmer Bernstein's score from that exact same scene. Hey, as a nerd, it's little things that you're able to spot from that. And according to an interview with Bill Murray, and I quote, "It's got the feel of the first movie."
Oh,
that
okay.
is what we needed. Because that movie, it had the right balance of the dark and spookiness, but it had the comedy to balance it out. And it probably means Bill Murray's going to be hitting on Dana Barrett again. It's like, oh, for goodness sake, Venkman! But it's Venkman acting like an ass, and would we have him any other way?
No.
we would not.
It's going to feel weird without Egon. We know that they're paying homage to him in many forms. I liked in the original trailer when his grandkids go into the basement, and one of the things they find on the shelves is petri dishes of spores, molds, and fungus. I'm like, okay, I saw what you did there.
It's a Twinkie, though. Where's the Twinkie?
Yes! There must be a Twinkie, damn it! And one of the things that puts such a smile on my face is when you see the kids going around in Ecto 1, but as soon as you hear the siren wailing, it's like, okay, I'm 8 years old again. I'm 8 years old, because one of my favorite scenes from the first movie is when, it's their first call, and you hear the doors open, and you hear Ecto 1 rolling down the street with that siren. It's just like, that's one of the best entrances ever. And although the Cadillac Ambulance Seville is not the most efficient running car on the road, at the same time, when you're a kid at that age, you look up and think, I want one. The mileage on that thing was awful, but what'd you expect for a car that was built in the 50s? It's not going to have the mileage of most cars. I mean, the average car of that length today, you could probably get 32 to 38 miles to the gallon, whereas back in those days, you'd be lucky to get, say, 8 to 12 miles to the gallon when you consider all the weight that was put on that car. And if you've ever gotten the first Ghostbusters movie on Blu-ray, and damn it, I actually want to go watch this extra feature after we're done tonight, because Hollywood Vehicle Services, they literally went the full 9 and 10 yards in bringing Ecto 1 back up to the first movie restoration, to the point where it looked so brand new it may as well have rolled out of West Coast Customs, because they literally pimped Ecto 1 up to the point where even Ray would be like, give me the keys, I want to go ride in it now. There are four movie and TV cars that I have on my list that I want to own, courtesy of a lottery win. First of all is the original kit, because it's kit, what's not to love? The 89 Batmobile, because that, to me, that is the greatest Batmobile. I know there are people that love the Tumbler, and, I got love for the Tumbler as well, but to me, that's the Batmobile. The Ford Explorer from Jurassic Park. I don't know anybody who doesn't want that. And like I say, last one, Ecto 1. Because there's... Whether you saw Ecto 1 in the movies or in the real Ghostbusters, as a kid, you wanted that car. Because it was Ecto 1. And Dan Aykroyd was so specific in his script where he said, I want a 1959 Cadillac Cadillac Seville to portray Ecto 1. And the original script, it wasn't white with the red tail fins. He wanted it black with purple lights. But he felt that the movie had to have some light to it, so that's why he opted for white with red trim. So I think for all intents and purposes that worked much better, because would it have had the same effect if it had been black with purple lights? I mean, it would have worked for The Undertaker if he'd come out to one Survivor Series or WrestleMania with that. That would have looked amazing. Dan's just asking... oh, God. Aaron, I think he's referring to Oni flying Thunderbird 2. Knowing him, he'd drop a pod on his own house.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, yeah, because there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
Although in one comic book strip where it was Virgil's birthday, they actually gave him a 7th.
Yes.
Because if I recall...
No,
Because if I recall correctly, Alan was piloting Thunderbird 4 to try and rescue somebody at a dam, and both, I think, Scott and Gordon had gone up to Thunderbird 5. Why those two specifically, I don't know. I wasn't the writer for that one.
I think that was one done in the early 2000s because Lee Sullivan was the artist.
Dan says, does this mean the Mini Puff Marshmallow Men will be the Baby Yoda of Ghostbusters?
Oh god.
Well, they do act cute until they start biting. And one of them was actually...
It could be worse. They could be porgs.
Do I even want to know?
It was basically a creature from Last Jedi, which they used in place of puffins when they were filming in Skelly.
Oh.
Basically, imagine penguins, but with a guinea pig-like face.
They're cute, but there's a reason why they were there.
Okay then.
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
That and to avoid any puffins in shot.
Aaron says, don't forget the Aston Martin DB5 with the machine guns and ejector seat. Yeah, well, I think he's referring to me, but like with movie cars. Here's the thing. I don't dislike the Aston Martin. It's just not my thing. You know, everyone's got, you know, their go-tos with regards to cars, vehicles. For me, I love American muscle. I love a little bit of tuners. That's why I love the Mazda RX-8, because there's something really special about that car. I love most Nissans that look like kit, that have got the T-tops. I'm not really huge on exotics with things like Mercedes and BMWs. I mean, if people like them, great, but it's not meant for me. I just love American muscle, first and foremost. I think Ford Mustang, particularly the 2005 model, that's my all-time favorite muscle car. There's something about how it's both modern and old school at the same time. Aaron's just saying, don't tell you like the Lotus Submarine. I enjoyed that for what it was. When I was doing specials for Night Watch back in the day, when I reviewed Night of the Iguana, I give the show props for trying to do new things, but first of all, they had Kit having an aqua mode where he actually literally is being a submarine. So this, for context, folks, the Knight Industries 3000 was a 2008 Shelby GT500 KR Mustang, or Kitstang, as everyone else has, and myself has dubbed it. Now, I could buy the Trans Am having hydrofoil technology in the 80s because they did this with Fab 1 in the 60s for Thunderbirds. I could buy the idea of a car having hydrofoil technology, but the Mustang in particular, that some consider a brick on wheels, having the capacity to be able to not only be watertight but also move around underwater, that was a bit of a hard pill to swallow. And when Kit was actually emerging out of the water and onto the beach, I actually had the James Bond theme playing because I thought, why not? Pay homage to that moment from The Spy Who Loved Me. But, like I say, it's just one of those things you sort of think, oh dear. Like I say, '05 Mustangs, my all-time favourite. The 82 Trans Am followed a close second. The '08 Mustang, because of the kit stang. But I also got a lot of love for the modern Dodge Charger. There's something about that car, especially the Hellcat, the one that they used in that movie Nightcrawler. You know the one I'm talking about, Raiden.
I think so.
Yeah, that...
Was that the Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
Yes. I mean, that car... Damn. And one Mustang I'm particularly in favor of, even though Tokyo Drift is not that universally loved as a Fast and Furious movie, that 67 model that they use for the penultimate race in that movie.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Especially with the metallic green and white racing stripes. That is really the perfect touch for that. But yeah, like I say, muscle cars are my go-to. I'm not a fan of the marquee Mustang that they're doing because, as we've said for so long, that ain't a Mustang. I'm sorry. It might have the Mustang badging, but it don't have the soul of a Mustang. I'd be like... That'd be like, giving Raiden a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, but then he gets told, oh, this is an electric Harley. No, this ain't a Harley, dude. No. Harley's gotta be loud and aggressive. I do not want a glorified electric scooter. No, it's just not gonna happen. We went from talking about Godzilla Kong to Top Gun, and then just, going way off onto my love of American muscle cars. Hey, we go off onto tangents. We're all guilty of it. So, I'm not sure. Yeah, we already know that the Fast 9 is going to be ludicrously ridiculous going into this last chapter. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out. The fact that Godzilla vs. Kong is drawing in decent money, what they're going to do as the follow-up, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see what they can do. And it's nice to see that they're actually drawing in decent money, even though they're doing it from, I suppose, limited audiences, for lack of a better description. So that's great news. It might not be the first one I go to see, because the top of my list is going to be Ghostbusters 3. And for context, and I know we keep, saying this till we're blue in the face, the real third Ghostbusters movie. Be interesting to see how they fill in the gap of what happened after Ghostbusters 2, what made them close down shop and what have you. And then, of course, after this year's done, apparently Spider-Man No Way Home is supposed to come out this Christmas. So that'll be interesting to see how that ties in. But given how things have gone, it's not like they could have a major summer blockbuster release, because the fact that, a lot of the movies from last year are still trying to get released this year because of what the pandemic has done.
Yeah.
And provided there's no restrictions next year, it'll be the concluding part of the Jurassic World trilogy, which I'm intrigued to see how that one's going to tie up all the loose ends. And of course, next month on May 21st, Season 3 of Camp Cretaceous. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that, because they're going to try and get off the island without any assistance from anybody. I'm like, how are you going to do that when there's no boats left on the island? And also with Hybrid number 3. So it'll be interesting. Lids, your thoughts on the results of Godzilla vs. Kong overseas, and what do you make of what we're seeing from the studios that are releasing new trailers and clips from the forthcoming movies this summer?
Well, I have to say I'm glad that Godzilla vs. Kong is doing very well. Hopefully, I get to see it really soon. It's like, again, I don't have HBO Max, so I'm going to have to definitely make the attempt to go see it in the theater. But I'm actually glad it's doing well in the box office, especially in lieu of things like, I don't know if it's things aren't dying down, but it's just, things are manageable to say the least. And in regards to the clips that they're showing, and I have to wait and see sort of things. It's like, again, I'm kind of stoked for certain things, but again, for me, it's wait and see. But I'm actually looking forward to it.
Raiden?
I'm just happy it's getting all the praise it deserves. I mean, this is a monster movie that, you know, has bridged the gap of all the movies that's come before it, from Godzilla to King of the Monsters to Godzilla to Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and now this. I'm just happy that it's getting the praise it deserves. And for movies coming out, yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of them. Of course, Mortal Kombat coming out next Friday, this Friday, and Ghostbusters Afterlife. Looking forward to that. Other movies I'm looking forward to. Candyman, thank God, because I've been looking forward to that since last year, and sadly, the pandemic had to shut down shop for it to come this year. And last but not least, Halloween Kills. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff that's coming out. I'm just happy that, you know, things are just moving forward. The pandemic. I mean, it's slowly getting better when it comes to, like, you know, capacity stuff. So hopefully, you know, things are going great stuff.
Aye. Steve, you brought the article forward. What do you make of all of it?
I'm very glad to see that Godzilla vs. Kong is pulling in lots of money at the box office. Because I was rather disheartened that the last movie, King of the Monsters, didn't make quite enough money back to break even. But thankfully, this time around, the Monsterverse has managed to pull in a bit more this time at the box office, and that's just with a limited screening as well. Because I think in the UK, according to Cineworld, the earliest that they could be reopening cinemas is the 21st of May. Not sure what it's like for other chains like Showcase, but probably they'll be around about the same time. So right about this time next month.
Alright.
So I'm probably going to be seeing it again in the cinemas, because I want the Monsterverse to continue. And from what Godzilla vs. Kong showed us, it just makes me want one thing. And if Kaiju were here, I'm pretty sure he might agree with me on this. Essentially, a remake of Destroy All Monsters, but instead of the big bad guy being Ghidorah, because they've already used him, maybe use another monster from Toho's library, Destroyer.
Destroyer? Oh yeah,
Yes.
Destroyer is definitely a big threat.
And I could see that working in a potential future movie, but maybe do one or two solo outings featuring both monsters, probably to build up to it. As for the other films, not much really that I can think of, other than maybe Black Widow and Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, because, like I say, ones I've listed for this year, those are my go-tos that I've been waiting extraordinarily patient for. Because next year, the only two that are on my list that I really want to see badly Jurassic World 3 will be one of them, and this time next year, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yes.
With evidently Jason Momoa as Knuckles the Echidna. I'm intrigued by that. I mean, I love him as Aquaman in Justice League, because he's got this very cool, hardcore, sort of dialogue where you hear him say things like "my man," he's that guy you want on your team. Although I do like that sort of rapport between him and Batfleck, where it was really grand, dying. That was your grand plan. I didn't bring a pitchfork to a fight. And it's just like, there goes the snark. Surprised Wynn didn't write that line. But no, that'll be really cool to see what he brings to the table as Knuckles. We know that Jim Carrey will be back as Robotnik. Ben Schwartz, I'm intrigued to see what he's going to bring to the table as Sonic for the sequel, and it's going to be interesting to see how Tails is going to fit into the fold.
Yes.
Because the concern that I have with the second movie is it going to be a situation where Tails is letting him know of a disaster that's coming with Robotnik, or is it going to be a situation where Tails lets Sonic know, like, your energy's unstable, you need to come back with me to my world, and in effect taking him away from a family situation that he's long yearned for and only just gotten? Because I love the dynamic with Sonic, Maddie, and Tom right at the end, because they're a nice, small, perfect little family. I love the chemistry and banter between Tika Sumpter and I keep forgetting his name. James Marsden.
Donut Lord.
Yeah, because they all play off each other so nicely. And Tika Sumpter, how you doing? Oh, she fine.
Oh yeah.
And
I'll give it that.
the things I'm sort of going to be looking for is I want to see how Sonic's life is now, where he actually feels like he has a family. Is he going to be in a situation where he's actually going to be going to the school, or is it going to be a situation where he's still laying low? And just seeing like this situation where, seeing them all at the dinner table where, Maddie will call out his name for dinner, and then and all of a sudden there he is within 2 seconds, like, chili dogs.
Yes.
Again, just to see, because we watch a Sonic movie for the action, the drama, what have you, but we're also there just to see the slightly quieter points where, like I say, to be able to see him have that family situation, because the Sonic that we saw in the first movie, he is the Sonic that we all know and remember, but we weren't prepared for the loneliness. Because I remember Random's words where, people have been like leaking so many clips up before we even saw the whole movie in full. The baseball scene where he's, excited and celebrating he won the game, and then he realizes he's alone. And, that realization that sets him when he's like, I'm alone forever. His words, and I quote, "I was not prepared for this." Because he's got the spirit of Jaleel White's Sonic from Adventures of, and maybe a little bit from Saturday Morning, but he made Sonic a little bit more human and relatable with the fact that, you know, all he wanted was a family. And a lot of people pointed this out. Longclaw technically committed child abandonment. Even though she was saving him, she abandoned an infant. That's kind of a dark moment. And also, if people see, like, deleted scenes where he's, you know, stealing Crazy Tom's soda, if you watch the way that scene is played out with the lighting and the way the score is, it plays out more like a horror movie. But that's when they were originally using the much more human-looking Sonic with the human teeth.
Ugh.
You imagine, like, someone showing up at, you know, him showing up at Lydia's house. Hey, Lydia, are you gonna give me trick or treat? Get away from me, abomination!
Jeez. No, sure, give me a second. I come out with a spiked baseball bat. Get the fuck out of my lawn now.
Lid, for Halloween, I'm gonna dress up as the other Sonic design. No, you are not.
No.
Shows up at Raiden's house with the Sonic.exe eyes. Hey, Raiden, trick or treat, boy, get off my lawn! That's where Raiden starts coming out with the holy water. It's like, be gone, be gone. Oh Lord. Oh, Wynn's online.
Yeah.
Just gonna find out if she's gonna join us because, hey, we'd like a little cute in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, you know.
It's been a long time.
That it has. Oh, she's responding. I think she's doing the whole talk it types. Crazy Tom goes, he loved D-sized batteries. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a bit of a thing with that.
Huh?
Aaron's saying, to borrow a quote, you had my interest, now you have my attention.
I wonder if that was towards the what was it? The Destroyer monsters, but with Destroyer.
Yeah. According to Wynn, she's not actually at home, so we're not likely to see Wynn this evening, folks. Sorry. We want her to be here too. But
she might be traveling. That's why she's on her mobile.
Yeah. No, she's not even at home. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, like I say, just to be able to sort of have that kind of dynamic where we get a little bit more of an expansion. You know, are we gonna see him dealing with schoolwork? Are we gonna see him actually try out for the baseball team? Because in the first movie, you see him having desires of being accepted and to actually be part of a school team. And I thought that was a really interesting angle for Sonic. For the first time in either animated series or, in this case, on film, you don't see him as a teenager. He's actually portrayed as a kid, even though he's probably like 13, 14 in the movie, whereas in most other media he's portrayed as anywhere from being 15 to 18. This occasion he's portrayed as being a lot younger chronologically and mentally, and I think that's interesting because you see throughout the movie he's a little bit more carefree and a little bit more of a free spirit because he doesn't quite have the savviness that we've seen throughout the years, and less we say about Sonic Underground, the better. And, well, to an even lesser extent, Sonic Boom... There there are a few things I actually like about Sonic Boom. I like the way Amy's portrayed because she comes across as a little bit more competent and less yandere-ish. Because, I'm sorry, folks, creepy stalker Amy, I'm sorry, that's old and it's really gotta go. Because it's reminding me too much of Lola Bunny from that Looney Tunes show and that music video. Oh, God. Those are the sort of,
that is not love.
No, that's the sort of thing that keeps you awake in the middle of the night. It's almost like, what if Elmira took bunny form?
No. Yeah.
To, like I say, have him, portrayed, with Boom, Sonic in that one, I'm just going to say it as is, he's a complete asshole. I mean, when Robotnik is the more reprising character in that series, I mean, yeah, he's being the stereotypical evil genius, but there's something actually quite charming about the way he's portrayed, and, I like the way that Q-Bot and Orbot actually have, a recurring importance in the show, but Sonic being a douche, it's got to stop. And can we please stop it with the Knuckles stupidity angle? It's really got to go. I don't mind the way Tails is portrayed, because Tails is Tails.
Alas, I have returned with chocolate cake.
Cake.
Chocolate must go into freezer later and finish off cookie dough ice cream. And there's Ray going, dude, I hate you. But it's like I say, Boom, Robotnik, Amy, Tails, and Styx the Badger to some degree are the most reprising features of that show. And I like the animation, but Sonic's snarky douchebagginess, I didn't care for that. And Knuckles being stupid, I'm sorry, it's old, it's gotta go. But with the way that he's portrayed in the movie, where he's, like I say, he's basically a kid, there's actually something quite charming about that, where this is not the best comparison, but you can get the context of this. It's like when you go back to watch the first season of The Batman, where he's Batman Year 3, where he is still developing into the character that we all know and appreciate from things like Batman the Animated Series, to the anthology movies, and to then The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. He's working towards becoming what we all know and remember. Sonic is still developing within that first movie. I mean, you see little glimpses of how he is when he's being snarky with Robotnik, or to how he deals with the drones in the car chase scene and fight at the midpoint in the movie. You see like little bits of it there, but you're seeing the character that he's developing from. Being abandoned as a child, having to fend for himself in the woods and develop his own quirks and what have you. It's there, but it's, you're having to earn it in a way. You're seeing it slowly develop, but you're getting it in small doses. Again, not the best comparison, but you look at, how you were only given the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 1 sparingly. You had to earn their appearances. So in this context, to see the Sonic we all know and love, you're getting it in small doses, so that when you do get it, you appreciate it and you feel rewarded for it. Although I did like in the kitchen scene where he's revived, you just hear, gotta go fast! It's like, okay, nice little nod to Sonic X. I get that. And he's like, What? Where am I? What year is it? Is The Rock president?
Hi, pretzel lady.
And I know this is just me as a guy saying this, but in that scene, Tika, Of course, you wouldn't believe that woman's nearly 40, would you?
Nope.
Nope.
But,
Black don't crack.
Nope. And, you know, it's like I say, it's just the dynamic that he has with that family. And I suppose in a weird way, they both kind of found what they were looking for when they invited him to stay as part of the family. You know, the family became bigger. Because before him, it was just them, his dog Ozzy, which, by the way, that was a nod to his dog Mutsky in the Archie comics. Which in the reboot, Mutsky is still there, but Mutsky's gone from being his dog to being still being a dog, but he's now sentient, but is still his pet. If that makes any sense to you, because it doesn't to me. You know, just to see that dynamic at the end of the first movie, I think one YouTuber described it as Sonic being so excited about his room and being accepted as a member of this family is the most wholesome thing you could ever want. And I like that they played it that way. They played it in a way where you don't need any suggestive humor in there. I mean, there were one or two moments where he farted after the chili dog, but that's like one fart joke.
Chili dogs don't play when it comes to, you know, bodily function.
Yeah. I'm amazed they didn't do any of that in Adventures of, but I suppose it being a kid show and it wasn't on Nickelodeon at the time, I suppose I thought, maybe we shouldn't do that. And I'm amazed, especially with the way Robotnik was drawn and animated, they didn't put fart jokes around him, because I'm sorry, you can't look at that design and think, oh, he's gonna let one.
Yeah. Hey, I respect that. Over the years, you know.
Yeah. And I've noticed in most animated series, they never deviate away from Robotnik's attire from Adventures of. But as much as I, you know, like the Jim Cummings portrayal, because that to me, that's the quintessential performance of Robotnik. Because if Sonic is the best performance of all that is light and good, as the villain, you need the antithesis of somebody who's that dark, sadistic, and evil, and Cummings played it to point perfection. But at the same time, I equally love the goofiness and the over-the-top nature of Long John Baldry's Robotnik, and especially the over-pronunciation of his ahs. If you ever listen... You ever watch the opening segment of Birth of a Salesman, where he's just letting rip on Scratch and Grounder? He cuts a better promo than Roman Reigns. Especially, I think it opens up with idiots, rejects, morons, seditious slabs of unsalubrious circuitry, yo nincombots. I'm like, that's a mouthful. But that's Baldry for you, you know. Played it brilliantly, and he was also a British Canadian jazz blues singer. Sorry, got my tongue twisted there. And he was also, I think he was also the voice of Complex and Toborg in Bucky O'Hare.
And trying to remember, but he did voice the character in Reboot.
Did he?
What? Yeah, Pirate Binome. I think Captain something or other. But I recall there was during a Reboot panel they were going on about Long John Baldry's performance, and one of the quotes that he ended up saying is, and I'll try and do my best rendition, but he ended up going, "Who on earth is Scott McNeil?"
Sean says he was in Reboot as well. Mind you, so was Tony J as Megabyte. That was brilliant. Tony J is one of those voice actors. Whenever he does a role, he makes it his own. Another example is when he voiced Shere Khan in Tailspin.
And later in the Jungle Book too.
Yes, because he replaced the original voice actor, and again, he just knocked it out of the park. He also played Lex Luthor's butler in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman.
Yep, he did.
That's a series I haven't heard in a while.
That's a series I really need to go revisit at some stage. Considering, I think it was 1993 that originally came out, so that one's coming up for its 28th anniversary.
Wow.
Blimey.
And Dean Cain, he's another one who's drinking from the fountain of youth, because that boy does not age.
Oh, he does not.
And he's also a reserve police ranger.
Hey.
What? Really?
Because he doesn't have a huge, bank balance, because I think he, over his career, he's made like 5 or 6 million, which is not anything to be sniffed at. He actually, is an active reserve police officer, so that when, his state in particular is low, he drops what he's doing and goes out and goes on patrol. Because there was this one video that was going around, I think it might have been CBS News, I think, because this made its rounds on Facebook and YouTube. This one little boy's favorite Superman was the Dean Cain version, and they managed to get a hold of him and said, my grandson absolutely adores your portrayal of Superman. Will you be able to come and meet him? And he says, oh, absolutely. He posed for him in photos. He signed autograph merchandise. He even said, he even gave him like an action figure of Superman, which was the Henry Cavill version. It says, but it's the wrong one. I should be giving you my version. But, he said it in jest. He wasn't saying it to, sour the mood. But, he was delighted that, this kid, loved his version. And he was, he came off patrol just to come out and meet them. And I thought, that's actually quite heartwarming, the fact that he's humble enough to go and do that, even though he's not making, he's not in the huge limelight anymore. He still comes to make time for it. I did like the fact that in the Supergirl series, they did actually bring him back, because as an actor, he's sorely underrated.
Very.
I like the fact that Lena Luthor's adoptive mother, when she's working next to him, she goes, we all know you're the real Superman. And I thought, okay, I saw what you did there. That was a nod to when he was Superman in Lois and Clark. I'm like, okay, I like that. That's cool. But yeah. I think if nobody's got anything else to add, I think we'll probably call it time for this evening, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Lid's going, something.
must be the picture I posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
All right.
Indeed.
Dan wants to know, what do we think of the firings recently from WWE? Vince McMahon needs to go, and they did, and I do agree, Dan, they did Joe dirty.
Yeah, they did.
Well-
They really did.
They did Joe
We do.
dirty. They did. Listen. I'm not the fan of the Iconics, but damn, they were a good tandem.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
You do
They,
realize
you can hear from Oni that they did Mickey dirty really bad.
Of course. How did I not know he was going to say something about her?
to be serious, this is Vince McMahon we're talking about.
No comment.
But he's not the only one responsible. It's apparently John Laurinaitis and Kevin Dunn who are also responsible.
Yeah.
Like, those idiots, those ass kissers are responsible.
Those lap dogs. I gotta say, Kevin Dunn has a very punchable face.
Yes.
To call Kevin Dunn an idiot is an actual disservice to actual idiots.
Because idiots actually have semblance. Like, for
Yes.
example, look at Ed from Ed and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the people know how Ed can be a little bit intelligent.
Yeah. In a
Don't put a pebble in the shoe.
Ooh, no. Or
Where's bruh? That raid was legendary.
also, don't come between him and his movies.
No.
Movie good for Ed.
Good for Ed.
It's funny. I now know where my brother got his version of Brock Lesnar from, because he would hear Ed going, cheap. It's like, oh gosh. But
Also, I think you know, since Lesnar is a country boy, and you know Ed has a love of chicken, so there you go.
Chicken!
I could go saying how foul that is, but that's just too obvious.
Nah, no, it's all good.
But yeah, Dan, basically, all of them got done dirty. That's all we really need to say about that.
They'll be alright. Next couple of weeks. Well, they can't compete until July, so you know, especially when things go easy, you know, we'll see them back.
Sean goes, eat your bed, Ed. Don't give him ideas.
Oh god!
No.
Oh god, that shit was hilarious and messed up at the same time.
I like that one episode where Double D is so sleep deprived, he looks at Ed's bed and sees like all the things falling apart, all the bugs living. It goes, not if it were the last bed on this earth.
Oh yeah, he was so. I remember that episode. He was sleep deprived like a motherfucker.
And little known fact, Samuel Vincent, who voiced Double D, was the singing voice for Sonic the Hedgehog in Sonic Underground.
Makes sense. That has a great singing voice.
Yep. Because part of me sort of thought at the time, whenever they would do the music video portions of Sonic Underground, I was like, wait, did they get Jaleel White to do that? And then you go to read the credits. Oh, no, they didn't. Because the thing is, Jaleel actually voiced all three of the Hedgehog siblings, including Sonya. Which felt a little bit weird. As Sonic and Manic, he got it down perfectly. As Sonya... Jaleel, I say this with love. You know this, but they really should have gotten someone else to voice Sonya. I'm just saying. He's still my quintessential Sonic, but as Sonya... Get Jennifer Hale, who voiced Black Cat. That would have been perfect. And do you ever get the impression in Spider-Man the Animated Series, when she voiced Black Cat, she was enjoying that performance a tiny bit too much.
Half and half.
Because there were
Maybe.
some times where I've listened and thought, Jen, are you actually getting a little too happy with this? Especially when you hear her say, "Hello there, Spider." I'm like, stop that. Stop that. Then again, like, I think the voice actress who voiced her, because I think she did actually show up. No, she did the Spider-Man 2 and 3 video games on the Xbox and the 360. Even that voice actress was getting a little bit too much into it. Although, Tobey Maguire, I'm glad he was able to have a little bit more freedom and have a few jokes in that game, but when they were, trying to fool the art robbery and you hear him shout, "Show me the Monet," I'm like, please tell me you didn't just say that. Like that sort of cringe-worthy line that, even, something that even Oni wouldn't say. And Oni would say some cringy stuff. I mean, Lids could tell you stories.
Cool.
But that, I'm just like, oh, dude, really? I don't know. I feel like in a weird way this was good therapy session tonight because
Yeah.
I've talked a much longer than I should have this evening, but at the same time, feel like I'm getting my groove back. Not quite like how Stella got her groove back, because for starters, Angela Bassett is way better looking than me and fine as heck. How you doing? Again, she's another one. She does not age. I mean,
No, she does not.
look at when she was in the horror romantic comedy Innocent Blood to when she did Black Panther. The woman's a Time Lord.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
Also her in Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the one with Eddie Murphy, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was actually interesting to see Murphy do something that wasn't really comedic. It was something a little bit darker. But to be fair to him, he played it well. Oh, and apparently he has revealed they are doing Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Okay.
Hmm.
Not bad. Not too bad. I mean, if he did the Coming to America sequel, I actually enjoyed.
One thing I did read about that was he wasn't going to do it until they had the right script for it. Until, it was a movie that he would do. Similar thing with Beverly Hills 4. He said he wouldn't do another one until they had one that felt right. And it seems to be what he's doing, because he only seems to come back now when he's got the right story to work with, or if it's something he's quite comfortable with, because he doesn't need to work for it now, does he? Because he's made.
Yeah. Already a household name, so yeah, fuck it.
And he's got a lot of kids, good lord.
Yep.
Still find it bizarre he's actually the father to Scary Spice's child.
Wow.
Yeah. Then again, it's something that, Mel B can sort of, not necessarily brag about, but she can say that, hey, I think she had a little girl to him. So, and occasionally Eddie Murphy puts out an album, which is unheard of, but the man can actually sing.
Party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
Oh, yeah. Whew. Dan, what the hell? He just said Black Cat probably made Spider-Man's Peter Tingle one too many times. We don't talk about...
Dan.
Cool.
We don't talk about the Peter Tingle. It's called the Spider Sense. Peter Tingle. That is so cringe.
Really, Dan?
Yes.
Dan, love you, but because of that, you go into the corner with L-Man.
Oh God! Don't put them into corners together. That's not a good thing.
Especially if L-Man's watching the best of Heath Slater.
Oh my God!
Well, it'll be no...
Make it plushy, please.
Yeah. Actually, no, I don't even want to think about what L-Man will do with a Heath Slater plushie.
Oh no!
Hello there, Heath Slater. Hello there, Heath Slater plushie. Do you want to snuggle? Oh, you do. Hey, what's that Justin Gabriel plushie? You want to join in too? Let me...
I still feel unclean.
Oh, thank gosh, we're age restricted.
Yeah.
What do you
Quote
think?
Yakko Warner. Mwah. Good night, everybody.
Well, it's not like... I mean, I've actually got a small clip from season 8 of RDR where Triple H does what we're all thinking. It's like, because Oni goes, it's not like Triple H has an ego. Shut up. It's like, oh come on. It's like, I want to deny Brian, but I look at that title and I think about what it would look like in Stephanie's outfit. It's like, Hunter. And then they go on like, well, hello there, WWE title. Do you want me to play you? What's that? You want to play the game? Well, are you ready? 30 minutes later with a cigarette. Was it good for you? And there's Weavile just like breaking down in laughter, and Elman's just like going, and there's me with a camera. Hello there, Pornhub. You're gonna get a special little video. And then Oni just ends it with, hey, when I do it, it's funny. And I'm like look at thinking back on this, like, do what, Oni?
You expose yourself.
Oh boy. Whew. Whew. Laughed out and tapped out as a result, folks. We're gonna go tap out for the night because this has been fun, but it's got to end at some stage.
Yeah.
Like I say, folks, maybe a month and a half. The third review for season 16 of Real Features. I will bring Jurassic Park 3 back, but done to the quality of like the last 2 to 3 seasons, because it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Until next week, I have been the Knight, saying good night from the night, and hope you all had a good laugh this evening, because we sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, you're
Ciao, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Night.
And don't forget to check out MJ's Teespring page.
Yep, and also check out my my photo catalog on my Shutterstock page. I will provide a link after, you know what, stuff it, I'll do it now. Shutterstock. You know what? That's the one. If I go... Hang on, give me a second. Just gonna pop the link in. There's actually a few people that have actually been buying my photos lately, so
Nice.
you know, if you have something that you want for advertisement or a personal project, a load of people are actually buying my work now. Well,
Speaking of works, also don't forget to check out Primal Warrior Draco Azul, written by Kaiju Noir, now available on Comixology and Amazon for your reading pleasure.
The
Th-
comic, buy it.
thank you very much, Stephen, for plugging my work. Oh, and now I must go return to my spaceship. He's listening later. It's like, dude, I hate you.
A spaceship, it's a space station. Big difference.
We're done, folks. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Ciao.
Bye.